What do you think of the show?
Okay, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not, but I didn't think it was as scary as Hill House.
Okay.
And not even close to like the scariness of Hill House.
Definitely not. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion.
I don't know. Like, I read some comments that said that it was really scary.
There was nothing scary about it.
And lots of those, like, BuzzFeed and those, like, articles say, like, oh, this new Netflix show is leaving audiences, like...
Nah, that show was not scary at all.
I don't know. It was more psychologically.
But that was kind of how the Haunting of Hill House was.
But it's different.
Yeah.
Like the Bly Manor one, it was more like...
It was like a scary...
raw.
It was actually a scary story.
Yeah.
It was scary, it wasn't necessarily horror.
Yeah, and it was like more raw. Like
Yeah.
it had like more emotions, and it was just so...
Well, okay. Let's bring it all back. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel for another TV show review. And today I'm joined by... Introduce yourself.
Dana.
I'm joined with Dana, and we're going to be talking about the Haunting of Bly Manor. Yeah, the Haunting of Bly Manor. Clearly, I don't use that word that often, so I need to move my tax bracket. And you guys can help by hitting that subscribe button and liking the video, leaving a comment to help with the algorithm, so we can get to 1 million subscribers, guys. Tell them.
I approve. Subscribe, like, share.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
To tell
a friend. Sharing your story, Instagram, Twitter, I don't know.
Yeah.
Tumblr.
No one uses Tumblr anymore.
Everyone uses Tumblr.
I thought it was dead.
I don't know. I've never used it, but I always see it on Instagram.
Oh.
What else?
That's it. That's okay.
MySpace.
Okay. What? Anywho, so we're going to be talking about the Haunting of Bly Manor. Let's start with the plot of the TV show. So it's about... How would you even describe it? About two kids from a rich family.
Yeah.
That...
It's mostly about orphans. The au pair. I feel like it's like...
Yeah, I think you're right. It starts with the au pair.
It starts with the au pair, and it's like how do you say it? It revolves around the au pair, like the story.
Yeah.
So I think you'd say that it's about like an au pair that goes to this Bly Manor to take care of these kids
who lost their parents.
Who lost their parents.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's basically the gist.
Yeah. And there's some sort of supernatural activities happening, and she gets kind of wrapped up in all of that.
Yeah.
Just so you know, there are going to be spoilers in this, so
Spoiler alert.
You don't want any spoilers, feel free to click off the video or
but
mute
still
it.
Press like, subscribe, and share. Just don't watch it.
Overdoing it.
Okay, really?
Yeah, overdoing it.
You know, maybe we have to overdo it for people to be like, damn, they're overdoing it. You know what? I'll just subscribe.
Oh, I might just dislike and report the channel.
Nah, people aren't like that. They're nice.
So it's about an au pair that goes to help out with some orphan children in a huge ass house.
Yeah.
Why are two children living alone in that huge manor?
Because they have money. Because their uncle doesn't want to take care of them. You know, what's he gonna do?
Well, you can just move them to like the city or something and have like a regular house or a regular apartment with just 2 bedrooms. Why in a house with like 7 bedrooms and 3 different houses together and a lake?
I don't know. That's a good point.
Or was it just for the summer? It's meant to be their summer house.
It was their
right?
summer house, but I think when their parents died, it became their permanent.
And they were going to be getting homeschooled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's the overall plot of the TV show, I think. And then we can get into the specifics.
I'm so glad that was his name.
Into the
Specifics. Okay, so should we start like in the beginning, like go kind of episode by episode?
Yes. Yeah.
Like
So-
in that sequence, like I'm not gonna start talking about the Lady of the Lake
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, it's like-
So what was your first impression of the au pair when you saw her?
Well, I personally love that actor. I think she was the actress that played Nellie
Mm-hmm.
in Hill House, and I love her. I'm really glad she didn't do a British accent. I think that was
Oh,
like the
yes.
first thought I had when I saw her.
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't do a British accent. And like, just please start talking like American English. Because I don't know, I don't think it'd suit her, a British. It would seem too. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe she does a brilliant British accent.
Yeah. Like the character that played, what's his name? Peter.
Mm-hmm.
I thought his American accent was quite good in Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah.
And when I was hearing him having was it Scottish or Irish accent?
Yeah, I misled you a bit. Remember when I told you that was his real
actual accent? Yeah.
It isn't, but he does have a like his real accent is a British accent. It's not Scottish.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
like,
Yeah.
Just mislead you a little bit.
Yeah. Because I thought his Scottish accent was really convincing.
Yeah,
I thought
it
that
was
was
really
his actual
good.
accent. So you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe her British accent would have ended up seeming
True.
natural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That was like my first initial thought. I'm like,
Please
like
don't.
good that she didn't speak in
Yeah.
British.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. Just.
Okay. So what do you think of her character? Like, her personality.
Yeah.
Because she seemed really like jittery and very, very excitable, I think.
Like, yeah.
And also like in all of the London life and everything.
Yeah.
And so we see her going to meet up with the uncle of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember his name.
Can't remember.
Henry, Uncle Henry.
Henry.
Yeah.
And his brother is Dominic.
Yeah, Henry. So we see her going to meet up with Henry to apply for the job of being the au pair.
Yeah.
And first of all, I can't remember my first impression of Henry, actually. I just thought he was a dick, like a
But
rich
he was just
asshole.
like an aristocrat, like
Yeah.
a British aristocrat.
Yeah. Oh my god, are we going to be struggling with English words throughout this video?
Oh my god. Like honestly, I didn't have like a huge first impressions in either one.
Okay.
Like I did have that impression that she was very like jittery and stuff, especially like when you'd see her cross and the car passed her, and then you saw like the guy.
Yeah, that was like the first. That was the first kind of out there thing that we saw.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
first
reflection.
like supernatural,
Yeah.
but like ghostly thing that we saw.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, that's when you knew like, oh, like she has baggage or
Yeah.
like.
So what did you think when you first saw like the image, like the person behind her?
Like at first, especially because then she started talking about her teaching and like her kids, like her kids from school. I thought that he was a student of hers, and that she somehow caused his death.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was my initial, like.
Thought.
Premonition.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
I thought the person was a brother actually.
Oh really?
I thought it was her brother.
Well, that didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah. I don't remember. Oh, maybe I was still thinking with the mind of Hill House.
Oh.
So I thought maybe her brother maybe passed away or something, and she was somehow involved in it, and now
Okay.
she still.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like still haunts her.
I feel like it makes more sense than like a
Than the
student.
students. Well, both of them were wrong. So.
Yeah. Completely.
Yeah. Yeah, so the show progresses and you end up meeting the kids when she goes to...
Yeah, the kids. Oh, Flora! Oh my god.
I love Flora.
Oh my god.
She's
Not gonna lie,
so
at
cute.
first I thought, like that first scene when she put that doll in the lake house, I thought that was like an evil thing.
Yeah, same.
Like I didn't know it was like for protecting.
Yeah.
Which is really cute.
Yeah. I thought she was... For a long time, I thought she was like evil, low-key.
Yeah, you did.
I told you. I thought they
Yeah,
were
you
both
did.
devil children. So yeah, we meet Flora and oh god, she was perfectly splendid. She was. Oh god, she's so cute.
Gosh, she's Yeah.
And also a very, very amazing
Actor.
Yeah.
Actress.
Yeah.
Like for a
such
child.
Good.
Insanely
Oh man.
amazing.
I don't know how the people who direct these like Haunting of Hill House and Haunting of Bly Manor, I don't know how they find this
Right?
child
These like
actors.
right, because even in Hill House, the child actors were also
Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, so when I saw the kids, I thought they were gonna be somehow involved with the death of the previous au pair.
no. You
Because
see,
they mentioned the previous au pair, and they were like, oh, that
Yeah.
something tragic happened to her, blah 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 blah. And I was like, huh. Only the kids live in the house, and
But
then
didn't
the au
you
pair
get it from the
died.
beginning that she's committed suicide?
I did, but I thought it was because of them.
Oh,
Like something they
okay,
did to
okay,
cause her to
okay,
commit
okay,
suicide.
okay.
Like kind of in Haunting of Hill House where
Yeah.
the person doesn't really have
Like
control. I thought maybe like the kids could do some like
okay,
dull
okay.
controlling thing
Oh,
to
shit.
yeah. So that was my first thought for a long time actually. But yeah, what did you think of the
Like
kids when you saw them?
honestly, like that in that scene, I thought Flora was evil.
Okay.
But then after that scene, I was like, no, she can't be evil.
Yeah.
You know, and then she would do
She's so
things
cute.
that would tell us that she's trying to protect
Help,
everyone
yeah.
and help.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, Flora is amazing, perfect, and she's
Yeah.
not doing anything to harm.
Mm-hmm.
Miles, though.
On the other hand, yeah.
I was like, Miles is very
100%.
sus.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't played that many Among Us games.
But you made me watch a lot of videos.
That's true.
And like you said, it's become a meme now.
Yeah.
So it's like every time it's like, oh, that cat is sus. Or
Yeah, I guess. But yeah,
But-
Miles was such a miscreant, such a little shit.
Just like sometimes, like when he was him, he
Mhm.
was so sweet,
Yeah,
and he's
but
like,
he was bad enough that I wasn't sure when he was him and when he wasn't.
oh, I kind of clocked when it was him and when he wasn't.
I could tell when he wasn't him and him not being him was angry. I could tell.
But also how they dressed. When he wasn't him, he dressed with those like knitted sweaters that Peter would
Really,
dress. Yeah.
I did not notice
And
that.
like he would walk the way Peter would
Walk,
walk, like with
yeah.
his hands in his
Pockets,
pockets,
yeah.
and his shoes, like he put loafers on. And,
Like he dressed like an old man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why would he do that though? Okay, now we're going to jump to one of like the major
Yeah.
plot twists, which we both predicted, right?
Yeah.
Like
We
before
did.
it was revealed in the show.
I mean, it was pretty.
Obvious.
It was pretty obvious. Like they
Yeah.
made it really obvious.
Yeah.
Like with the flowers,
Mhm.
with the like lighters,
Yeah.
with the smoking.
See, when I was watching it at first, I thought, oh, he really liked Peter and he was trying to do what kids do, where like if someone that they really like, they want to emulate them, they want to do what it is that they were doing to seem cool or feel cool or whatever. And yeah, so that was what I thought initially. But then I think the obvious part was when they were at dinner and then he said, like he was demanding that
Oh
he had
yeah,
a drink.
he had a drink. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. But now I don't get it because later, so they reveal later on that okay, little backstory. The previous au pair, she and what would you call him?
The butler.
Yeah, the butler. They go into like a relationship together and
Super unhealthy.
very toxic relationship.
Super toxic.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh
And
my god. Just-
yeah, I think this is a good part to kind of break and go back to talk about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was the butler and his name was Peter and the
And the
Previous au pair.
Rebecca. Betts.
Jessel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they basically started kind of seeing each other.
Yeah, like hooking up.
Yeah.
And like she was really into him.
Yeah. So anything, she would let him get away with like so many
He was crazy.
red flags
Like
that he was giving off.
yeah, I think the first time where I saw that he was crazy was with
When
the
she
batter.
was- The bad.
with the batter that like
That
they
was
were
after.
no that they were cooking the batter and then the cook gave Rebecca to try and then he was like
he flipped out.
And he's like, how are you standing there and you opened your mouth for his batter?
And he roasted her. He went in. He said it's nice to know that the only thing standing between you and a man putting something in your mouth is that he has to ask.
I don't even remember. I was just flipping out. Like, is he really doing this over?
And how is she letting him do this?
Exactly. It's like it was insane. Like the cook literally, like Owen literally gave it to every single one.
Yeah, and he saw that.
Yeah, Peter saw all that. Like he's literally
insane,
crazy.
Yeah, and then, no, the first time I noticed was when the first time they slept together and she was trying to leave to go for work.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
he was trying to get her to stay.
Yeah.
Like being insane. I could see in his eyes. She was like, oh, when I get back, right? And he's like, stay.
And then he grabbed her hand and she's like, oh, you're hurting me.
I was like, okay, yeah. This guy is, he has issues. And yeah, so initially we're just seeing his ghost around.
And
the current au pair, what's her name?
Danny.
Oh yeah, Danny. Similar name to yours. She would just see him like standing in different places or in the mirror.
Yeah, like she would think that he's like an intruder.
Yeah. No one knew what happened to him. Everyone thought he had gone missing because
he had escaped.
All of a sudden they just didn't see him, and there was a lot of money that was missing as well, right? So back to the story of Rebecca, Jessel, and Peter.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes in one day and tells her, that they're gonna like go away. This is after all the toxicity of their relationship has just kind of melted together, and it's basically is done. Like it's
solidified.
It's solid.
It's like,
they've embedded themselves in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like with the fur coat that he gave her.
With the Polaroids.
Yeah, like distracting her from her work, like all those things.
Like from her objective in life,
Exactly. So after all of that, he comes to her and tells her that they're gonna move to America, that he has a plan, and yada yada yada. And then I think, how long was it that night?
It was like he left for 4 weeks.
For 4 weeks.
Like remember when they fought?
Yeah.
He left.
Oh yeah.
And didn't contact her at all. Yep. And then suddenly he just comes in.
Back. Yeah.
And I think that's the time where he was like, let's leave to America. Mm-hmm. I have money. Mm-hmm. I have to go, but I'll come back.
Yeah. And then she agreed again. And so this is not the first time that we see the Lady of the Lake.
No, it isn't. They've teased her.
Yeah.
But it's the first time that we see her interact and
with the people in the house.
Kind of know why they're scared of her.
Yeah. So he's trying to leave, and then he sees the kids, like in the hallway.
Yeah.
And he tells them, what did he tell them?
Like go back to sleep.
Yeah, like go back to bed.
Or something like that.
That he's leaving, blah blah, that he'll be back, something like that. And then next thing you see
is he just turns around and then like
a hand just grabs his neck and starts dragging him away.
Oh god, that's crazy.
Yeah, like just like that. And her grip is some next level type of grip, because one hand to choke someone out
while walking
and dragging their body like a full-grown man.
And like when you see it, it's as if she's just dragging along like a sack of potatoes.
Yep.
Or not even that, like I don't know, like a pillow.
Yeah, go on.
And did you notice that when like she dragged him out, and then he came like up being like as if nothing happened. Mm-hmm. Like, I told you kids that you were supposed to go back to bed, and he even picked up a doll.
Yeah.
But he didn't know he was dead, right? And he could still pick it up. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until he saw his body that he realized he was dead and he couldn't pick it up anymore.
Where did he see his body?
I don't remember, but
I don't think he saw his body.
He did see his body. He did see his body
He
because
couldn't
when
have
she
seen
was
his body because it was in the lake.
no, because
She dragged the body from
yeah,
there
but while
down
she
to the
was
lake.
dragging him, he saw it, and he was like, no, 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 don't you remember?
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So my theory is that, like, that's why Hannah could still interact with
because
people
she didn't know she was dead.
because she didn't know she was dead.
Yeah. And they showed it in the end when Peter was trying to, or basically forced her to face her own death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm so sick and tired of you walking. Like,
yeah, going in and out.
We were saying about Peter being dragged by the
Lady of the Lake.
and like she was just so strong.
Yeah.
Imagine the actress.
Right? No, I
Apparently
think
she's a double.
double.
From, like, she wasn't the actress of Viola. She was a stunt double.
The Lady of the Lake?
The Lady of the Lake.
Oh, okay. Why would they use a stunt double for that?
Because Viola just had the actress, I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
Had just had a baby, so she couldn't, like, travel.
Oh, okay.
Like, all the time.
Yeah.
So I think she just traveled once,
Okay.
did her part, and then did, like, a few bits of the Lady of the Lake.
Yeah.
But then the stunt double did almost everything.
Everything else. Okay. Yeah. Because you can't really tell who the actress is.
Exactly, because of the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, they probably used like a rope thing to pull him as he was.
Oh, yeah,
to, like
yeah,
assist her.
Like a harness, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you were saying, what's it called? You had a theory.
Oh yeah. So you know how like Peter was just like after he got dragged, he just came back, and for a second I was like, what the fuck, didn't like he looked so, you know, like what just happened? And then he tells the kids like, oh, like go back to bed, and I think he picks up a doll or something.
Yeah, the doll of the Lady of the Lake.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck? And then somehow he sees his body being dragged, and he starts freaking out, and he's like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah.
And then that's when he realizes he's dead, and he can no longer pick anything up, and he's like a ghost.
Are you sure that's exactly how it happened? I thought while he picked up the doll, it kind of went through his hand.
I don't remember.
I felt like as he picked it up, he was looking at it, and then it went through his hand, and he was confused. And then the kids were just quiet. Then he turned around, and then he saw.
I don't know, cause I'm pretty sure he picked it up.
Yeah, he did.
Let me sign it to my Netflix.
Okay.
But I think he picked it up. And then he saw his body, and then it dropped.
Okay.
Otherwise, my theory just goes to shit. Because, like I was saying, that's why Hannah can interact with people, can pick stuff up and everything, because she still doesn't know that she's dead.
Yeah. Speaking of Hannah, from the jump, was I not right?
You were, and that's also what I told you, like.
Okay.
Like, because
the thing that you said, after a few episodes, that you had a feeling about it.
That like I had a prediction.
Yeah.
If you'd have the same thing.
Yeah.
And literally, when in the first episode when she wasn't drinking, I also thought the exact same thing. I'm like, she's a fucking ghost. She's a ghost.
Yeah, that was like a nice thing. So, how did she realize she was a ghost, even though she wasn't? Like, why did she just choose not to be eating or drinking anything? Because
I think she was in that, like, state of, like, you know, she kept jumping.
Yeah.
And I think she was just very confused and very dazed. Because she did eat. There were times where she did drink. Like, she drank the wine.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, so then the next time that we see Peter is when he comes back. Because throughout this time, no one knew where he was. Everyone just assumed that he went missing. But the kids knew he was dead.
Why didn't the kids say anything?
They said they tried to.
Oh, yeah.
They said they tried to, but no one believed them.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, when they went to Rebecca, they said we've been trying to tell. We tried telling. I don't remember who the first person was, and the officer as well, but no one was listening to them. They just dismissed them as being like silly little kids. They had wild imaginations and whatever. So they did try telling people, but no one listened. Then Rebecca sees him in her room, and no, actually before this, before this, doesn't he talk to her through Miles? Like this is when he found out that he could possess Miles' body.
No. He didn't know he could possess Miles's body until later. Because remember, he first appeared to Rebecca, and then he was like, I'm still trying to figure stuff out, blah, blah, and then he left for a while. And then he came back saying, like, I figured some stuff out. I think that's when he figured out he could possess Miles.
But he figured it out when Miles was standing in front of her.
No. Remember? He figured out he could possess when he possessed her for the first time. When they were in...
I don't think so.
Yeah, because he was so surprised. He didn't know what happened. They were all surprised. Remember, he was in the room, in the parents' room, and they were talking, and then, like, they were getting mad at each other, and then, like, Peter grabbed her, and then that's when he possessed her.
Yeah.
And then he came out, and he's like, he even was like Bex as Rebecca.
Yeah.
And then he saw himself in the mirror as Rebecca, and he was like, what the fuck?
So when did he possess Miles for the first time?
It was after that, for sure.
But he seemed surprised that he did, because he was just standing behind him while Miles was talking to Rebecca, and then he kind of held him, and then he found that he was in Miles' body, and then he spoke to Rebecca, and then like he said some cryptic kind of message that Rebecca didn't understand, and then he just left.
Oh my god, it rings a bell, but I don't know if was that the day he got killed or after.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because if it's after, then you're right.
But yeah, anyways, he figured out that he could possess people's bodies as a ghost, and
the person being possessed would dream hop.
Yeah.
Or that's what they called it, right?
Dream hopping.
Dream hopping.
And it's an interesting concept, even though I didn't really understand it. Did you? Or did you watch anything that explained it?
I don't know. It's hard to understand, but I think it has to do with, like, storing away the subconscious. And I think it also
storing away the conscious.
The conscious into subconscious. And I also think it has to do with the whole orbit of the Lady of the Lake, and how she always fades. Like how she faded, so everyone in her orbit ends up fading as well. And the more you fade, the more that you dream hop.
Okay. Then why would like regular people dream hop as well?
They don't. They need practice. Remember when...
but how did they do it? Yeah, that's what I mean by it. It was a very vague concept. They kind of just threw it out there, and it's just one of those things you have to accept.
Or maybe they can't, and it's only the kids. It's like one of those kids thing, because no one else dream hopped that was alive except for the kids.
But we never saw the kids dream hopping without being possessed.
That's true. Exactly. So maybe you can only dream hop when someone takes over your body and your conscious needs to go somewhere else.
But then they would have done that with Danny, but they said they couldn't because it takes practice. So maybe the kids, like you said, is probably one of those kid things where their imagination is so crazy that, or they are so acutely aware of their consciousness.
I think like this is the equivalent of like the Red Room in
Haunting of Hill House.
Like it's very ambiguous.
Yeah. Like how did people know that they were all going to the exact same room? How did you think that a room up a spiral staircase was a tree house?
Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah. I mean,
A small preview.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's fine. I think to do things like that, especially in shows that are like fictional, supernatural, can just throw concepts out there, but I think the lack of explanation for it can be
annoying.
It can be given a pass. It didn't really make that big of a impact. Yeah,
like I didn't feel. Okay, apart from me just saying annoyed, I didn't feel annoyed. I don't know why I said it, but I honestly didn't feel annoyed at the lack of explanation
for it. Yeah, it's just like okay, people's consciousness goes into different dreams, but it's not even dreams; it's memories.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like it's like they're still in the body, but they have to go somewhere else.
Tucked away.
Yeah.
They're tucked away in their memory. God, Flora was easily my favorite character.
Easily.
She was
Like
amazing.
she was just so like
Cute
pure
and, yeah.
and you know, trying to help with her dollhouse.
Yeah. But anyways, back to the Peter and Rebecca story, how it ends. So they want to be together because Rebecca is sad that even though she can see him, they can't even physically touch or anything. So he says he has an idea, but she has to trust him. So she lets him possess her, right? Oh,
No, before the idea, he was like they were possessing, like he was possessing her. And then he was like, and that's when she tried to run out of the property to see if they could run away together.
Yeah.
But then he was like, no, it's not working because you're not fully accepting me. You're fighting me.
Okay.
Remember that bit?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, I don't know why, blah, blah. And then that's when he was like, okay, let me figure it out.
Yeah, then he came back with an idea.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's say, so did they do the this is me, this is, like, it's me, it's you, it's us?
Yeah.
She did it?
Yeah, she did it.
So if that was the case and if the reason they couldn't leave the property was because of her not fully accepting him, couldn't they have just left together at that point?
No, because remember, like, the ghosts are all in the Lady of the Lake's orbit.
So if they leave...
Like, they're tethered to her, so they can't leave if she's in the lake.
Okay.
She's like from what I understood at least, she's like an anchor.
And she pulls.
She's like her own underworld.
Yeah.
So they can't leave because she's still there at the bottom of the lake.
Okay.
That's why Danny at the end, I think, could leave because she was taking the Lady of the Lake with her. And also they said that the curse was broken. I just want to touch on the dollhouse and the kid that doesn't have a face.
Yeah.
But that Flora gave him a story and a face. And I think he's the one that's been moving around the dolls.
Oh yeah.
In the dollhouse.
Yeah.
And like he's helping her because she gave him a story.
Yeah.
So like he's telling her
where
when the Lady of the Lake is coming.
Yeah. Oh, and also, how creepy was the plague doctor?
He was everywhere.
Yep.
Literally everywhere.
And for the longest time, I was thinking, oh shit, he's gonna
crazy?
kill her. No, I thought he was gonna kill her or something. It's like, oh, he's one. Cause I just assume like the ghosts are harmful.
Yeah, same.
Like, why is he just there? Like, he's literally just there, just standing in the corner.
But like, just knowing their story is so sad.
Yeah. So it was the plague doctor and...
It was the plague doctor, the soldier.
The soldier?
Yeah.
I never saw the soldier though.
I saw comments talking about him, but I never saw him.
Oh.
The kid. Oh,
yeah, the kid. God. But yeah, I think if we're to touch on every single person's story, we'll be here for
It would be like a 1 hour. But we have to touch on a Viola story.
On Viola. Okay.
That's literally the Lady of the Lake.
So basically, at the end of it, we find out that the reason why these things are happening in the house is because there was once a lady of the manor.
Of the manor.
Yeah.
Viola.
I don't remember her last name.
I don't remember it either.
And she was so attached to the house that she didn't want anyone else outside of her family to own it.
Oh yeah. When she was alive, yeah.
And so she made sure, I think she married their cousin, right?
Yeah, but she was really close with her sister.
Yeah.
And they made a plan of marrying her cousin, knowing that she would still be like the lady of the manor.
Yeah. Just because if she didn't, the chances of other men trying to come to take over it and whatever were really high. So she did that, and so it was very clear from the start that she was so attached to the house, and then they had a daughter together.
And she was like she loved her daughter, but I think she got TB.
Yeah.
She got TB, and she got super sick.
I don't think it was TB.
I think it was TB.
Isn't TB contractable?
It is. Well, why do you think she was like in what you call in isolation?
Nah, when she was coughing up blood, her husband was literally like still hugging her, and she had the plague doctor.
Oh yeah, but they didn't know it was.
Yeah, but they didn't catch it.
Yeah, I don't know. What else could it be in
Cancer,
that time?
lung cancer. They literally said it was lung cancer.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh. I didn't hear that. Whoops.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it said something like a mass was growing in her lungs or something.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
All this time I was thinking it was TB, and they were just lucky they didn't get it.
Oh my god. Nah.
Anyways, then she was supposed to die after a while, but it was like her sheer will of staying alive that kept her alive until her daughter was like 8, 9. And then her sister.
Yeah, so Viola started deteriorating and just becoming a shell of her previous self, and she was just in bed all the time. So she was just a shell of her previous self. She wasn't able to do much. So her husband and her sister, who initially were quite attracted to each other before her sister came in and kind of married him, they started spending more time together and with her daughter as well. But they were obviously still being respectful.
Yeah.
And then one time Viola comes downstairs and catches or like sees them dancing, like showing her daughter how to dance, and she gets pissed. She gets so upset and she slaps her. Yeah. And then at that point I was already thinking, yeah, there's going to be some resentment, like it's going to start growing.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking her sister might end up being the lady of the lake. I couldn't always tell who it was.
I knew it was either one of those.
Yeah.
Because of the hair.
Yeah.
Because of the hair.
And they might have done it intentionally, like put their hair in that manner to throw us off, like, oh, who could it be? Who could it be?
And then I think Viola finally like realized, okay, I'm probably gonna die, and then she did the not the coffin.
No, she locked up a trunk with
yeah.
her belongings.
And she made her husband promise, like, don't give it to anyone but our daughter on her 18th birthday, blah, blah. And of course, the sister just had to go and open it.
Yeah, they were struggling financially, and then her sister decided they should sell off Viola's belongings in order to get some money.
But I think she just wanted it for herself.
I think so. That they made a good point. Also, I just want to point out the narrator. Oh, I love the narrating kind of thing that they had going on.
Yeah.
So good.
It was literally as if you were sitting down with someone and they were telling you a story.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Well done.
But it wasn't
so
like
well done.
It was so well done that you didn't feel like they were telling you.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, so they mentioned that we don't know what her sister's intentions or motives are.
That's true.
Like Viola's, we knew it was clear, but her sister, we couldn't tell.
That's true. They did say that.
We couldn't tell.
That they didn't know if it was because she wanted the husband, if she wanted the manor, if she wanted the things. Because they made a point in saying that she wasn't very vain.
Yeah.
Like never. She wasn't like Viola. That she didn't like big dresses and all that.
Yeah.
But she did make a point of having her portrait go up.
Yeah. It was very. I still couldn't tell her intentions towards the end. It's almost like she was jealous of Viola, but at the same time, she did everything for her.
I think at the end, you kind of saw like a bit of her, like when she held up the dress, you could see in her face it was happiness. It was like, oh my God, finally, finally it's mine, kind of. And then
snaps her neck.
Oh my God.
But yeah, and so Viola ends up getting really, really sick, and her sister has been taking care of her for a good number of years now. And you could just see that she was just not having it anymore. She was tired of taking care of this person who seems to not appreciate her, hate her, and all of that. And I thought it was a mercy killing.
A mercy killing.
I thought, yeah, she ends up suffocating her in the bed. But according to the narration, it wasn't. It was frustration and resentment.
Like she thought it was mercy killing.
Yeah, but it was actually something else.
Like,
It was another feeling that drove her to do it. And
Yikes.
I think, again, like we said, I think it was maybe the sheer will of Viola wanting to stay in the manor, or still own it, that her spirit didn't even leave.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or see, I was wondering, is it a case of the house again? Like, is it that the house, if you die in the house, you just don't?
No, I don't think it's this case.
So you think it started with Viola?
It started with Viola because it also ended with Viola.
That's true.
And they made a point in saying that because of her will, she created this orbit. And
that
so
trapped souls.
That trapped souls, like, it was. Imagine having such a big will,
yeah.
even after you die, saying that you don't want to leave, you don't want to leave.
Yeah.
That you create this whole kind of like orbit, and anyone that dies in that orbit stays there.
Yeah.
Like it's tethered to you.
It's crazy. And she also, so she basically found herself being locked in a room, right? Was it her bedroom? It was a room, but I don't know if it was her bedroom.
I think that was she was trapped inside the, oh God, I want to say the locker thing, the trunk.
Yeah, but how is that a bedroom? I'm saying the room that she found herself in.
I know, but that was her projection. Like, that's how she saw it, but it was actually the trunk.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying trunk. What room was that? Was that any room in their house? Like,
no, but it was the trunk.
Oh.
No, yeah, I think it was just like a random
room. Okay, yeah, but like you said, it was.
It was in a trunk. But yeah. But imagine like the heartbreak. That's like.
Oh
when,
no! Wait!
I just want to jump everywhere.
So she found herself in this room that she created in her mind, and she wasn't sure why she was there. She just knew she was in this room, and then she would wake up, go to the window. She'd not see, like, it's just bricked off. She goes to the door, it's not opening, and then she goes back to sleep.
Yeah.
And then she woke up again. She'll walk to the window, open it, see that there's still nothing, go to the door, try nothing, and sleep.
And how amazing was the voiceover saying, like, she would wake up, walk.
And sleep or something like that, right?
I feel like something's missing.
Yeah, I feel like something's
missing.
But
it was like, she would wake up. But even, this was, like, they introduced this when she was still alive.
Yeah.
You know that she would wake up, she would walk, she would something, she would sleep. Yeah. She would walk, she would something, she would sleep. And then again when she died, and then...
Yeah, I love that. Like, I love that. The what's it called?
The continuation.
Yeah.
And even when she was the Lady of the Lake, again, they would say, like, she would wake up, she would walk, and you'd see her walk around the manor, go back.
She would sleep.
And she would sleep. But yeah, imagine, imagine the love she had, right? And the will, like we said, that she wanted to be with her daughter
so badly.
And imagine the heartbreak when they just threw her in the lake.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, she thought she was coming with them.
Yeah.
And she was so happy.
Like, so excited. But what would have happened if her daughter had opened the door?
I think she would have, because at that point she was still Viola. She still had love. She was still kind of human. So I think she would have just been with her daughter, and been like, you know,
a ghost.
A ghost with her daughter, I think. like she wouldn't take her away anywhere. She wouldn't harm her.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because you know her sister, her name is Perdita, right? And they said that it was because they lost a child between Viola and Perdita.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Oh yeah, and her name in Spanish, it's Perdida, which is lost.
Oh.
Which is kind of like, you know.
What, for the lost child?
For the lost child that they had.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I wouldn't want to be named after a lost
like all the time anytime someone calls my name. Yeah.
She would sleep, she would wake, she would walk. She would sleep, she would wake, she would walk.
Yeah.
And time went by.
Yeah. You forgot wake.
Yeah. She would sleep and then she would wake.
She would walk.
And then she would sleep. Jesus. Amazing.
No, I think that's what we said. I think we said
You know, I don't know why.
She would wake, she would walk, she would sleep.
I think we said it in the wrong order.
Yeah, probably. Anyways, so yeah, she was so sad that her child was left and she just wanted to be with her child again. And yeah, she ended up creating that room.
Yeah.
To kind of symbolize her freedom when her child is returned to her somehow.
Yeah. Or like.
Yeah, she put herself into that box. I don't know how that happened though. Like, I don't know. It's so weird.
I don't know. Maybe because she put that when she was making that trunk, she put the intention of like, my daughter's gonna open it at 18.
Yeah.
And so when she died, she's like, I need to be there when she opens it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, so how did her body get to the bottom of the lake?
That is a great question.
That's like a huge plot hole in the movie.
But was it her body? It wasn't. I think it was her ghost body.
But then how was she interacting? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it wasn't her body.
Because if it was her body, it would have decayed and decomposed and be skeleton.
How come she could interact with people, even though she was aware of her death? Because she had to, after all those days in the room, they said that she eventually accepted that she was dead, and But then...
Honestly, like I saw this interview. Yeah, continue your thought.
Oh, is it because they said she would forget? She'd forget that she was dead.
Oh, maybe.
And then that's why she kept fading away.
Maybe.
She would go, she would see that her daughter is not there, she would feel sad, she would go back and sleep, and then she would forget, and then she would wake.
Yeah, maybe. That could be one thing.
Yeah.
Because I also saw this interview where Viola, like the actress, was saying how this whole thing is kind of like Viola's thing.
Yeah.
Like she creates the rules.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the this is us, me, you, us thing.
Yeah.
Like she made it, you know, and that's why like Danny could still be Danny with her in it, because she kind of bends the rules.
Yeah.
To like what she wants, kind of.
Okay.
So that could also be one reason.
Yeah. It's so difficult to even say what the story is about. There are so many things that were involved in it. Because also, at the end, when someone says, oh, that it wasn't a ghost story, that it was a love story, I was like, that's exactly how I felt, especially when it kind of transitioned from the whole
oh my god, yeah, to like
Lady of the Lake then
to Danny and what's her name? Jamie? No.
Jamie, yeah.
Was it Jamie? Yeah.
And
I
Jamie
love that
and Danny trying to deal with the ghost of her ex-fiance and still be with Jamie,
and then when they finally moved out of Bly house, like all of that. The only thing that I was like, oh, why is like when we learned that the kids don't remember anything.
Oh yeah. I was happy about that.
No, because they don't even remember Miss Clayton, Danny. After like she saved Flora's life, after you know that like bond that she had with Flora, it's like, but then I saw that it could be because when the ghost left, they took those memories with them.
But Danny wasn't a ghost though.
No.
Yeah. So what memory?
I'm saying, like, for the kids, you know, like, because the only ones possessed really were Miles and Flora.
Yeah.
So I think when Rebecca and Peter left, they kind of just took their memories with them.
But they weren't possessed all the time. It was only occasionally that they would take over their body.
Yeah.
It seemed anyway.
Yeah.
Although
Miles,
for Flora,
yeah.
it seemed like it was more often than not. Like it seemed whenever she would look over Danny's shoulder, and that's because we were seeing initially like she would just be talking to her, and then she would just like look away, and then like come back. I was like, oh, I'm terribly sorry, and then like just super polite.
Yeah.
So I always thought it when they eventually showed us that it's because Rebecca was standing behind Danny, and then she would like touch her after. So I always thought it's because she was possessing her in those moments. If that's the case, then that was very often.
That's true.
So why was she always just randomly possessing her?
But keep in mind that we never really saw Miles's dream hopping.
Yeah, we didn't.
So we don't know how often it was with him.
That's true.
Which I think it was more often with Miles.
Yeah, that's true. Also, speaking of Miles, when he went to the Bible school,
The boarding school.
yeah,
Yeah.
and went to the top of the tree and then jumped. Why did he do that?
Because he wanted to go home.
Oh, okay, so he was trying to do anything that
Peter had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't leave Bly Manor.
Yeah, but do you think it was Flora that actually sent the message, or was it Rebecca? Because I was thinking maybe Rebecca sent it using Flora
I don't
in
think
order
so.
for what's his name, Peter, to have a body.
I don't think so, because in the drawing they showed the Lady of the Lake.
Oh, so you think she was scared of the Lady of the Lake?
Yeah, she was scared of it, because I think Rebecca never really... She wasn't killed by the Lady of the Lake. So I don't think she was scared of her as much as, like, the kids.
Peter should have been, yeah. That makes sense. I just found it weird that him coming back would have kind of enabled Peter's plans to go forward, that type of thing. But
and also, like, we would have to talk about the whole Danny and Jamie relationship after they left and how amazing it was. And then Danny just starts seeing the Lady of the Lake.
It was such a beautiful story. I think overall it was such a good story.
It was amazing. It was so
amazingly written, directed, acted, everything.
Even at the end where it's like you realize that that's Jamie and she's in Flora's wedding. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Did you at any point realize?
I realized, unfortunately, when like it was
obvious
and they put like Flora, and even then I was like, no. I was like, what's happening? Like, I don't know, because like, for example, Owen, I'm guessing he's the one that did the speech.
Yeah.
And like, I would expected more recognition from them. Like, if Jamie came, I would have expected Owen to be like, holy, like, oh my god, or I would have expected the uncle to, interact more with Jamie, because it seemed like she was very ostracized.
Yeah, and I think it's because maybe they haven't seen each other in so long, and so when Owen saw her, he was like, she's like the last, like one of the pieces from that time.
Okay, yeah.
And it's like, why is she here? That type of thing. Because the only time I realized that was Owen was like the last second before they showed it. I was like, okay, then that has to be Owen.
Okay, but to be fair though, throughout the show, I was thinking that the narrator, like the one that's Jamie, I thought she was either gonna be Jamie or Danny.
Really?
I promise you. Jamie, not that much, but I was like, she's probably Danny. Especially the second time I watched it with you, I realized like the whole like water scene, and I was like, like she's definitely Danny or someone from Bly Manor.
Yeah. How did I realize? I think it was after she told the story and she was sitting down there. Then I was like, oh, like that has to be Flora. Also, what's it called? The actress that they used for Flora, the bride, was so similar to Flora. That was when I was like, yep, that's definitely Flora. I was like, that's definitely Flora. Like that person is being too cute.
I really didn't catch that. I was like, throughout the whole time, I was like, who the fuck is she to them?
Yeah.
Who is she to them?
Yeah, why? At first, I thought she was a ghost.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, first episode, I was like, wait, is she a ghost? Why is no one acknowledging her being here? She's just walking through everyone.
And, but, like, the more I saw it, like, after I saw the scene where Danny was looking at the bathtub, I was like, okay, she has to be Danny.
Yeah.
Because, you know, in the first episode, you would see her in the bathtub in the hotel room.
Oh, yeah, that was when I thought she was going to kill herself or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, she has to be Danny, and then... and I was like, okay.
That was a good guess, though. I think that's a good guess. Yeah.
It's not so far-fetched, but I did not see her being Flora.
Yeah.
Like, that wedding, I did not see that wedding being Flora's wedding. I don't know why. Because where's Miles?
That's true.
Literally, where's Miles?
He might have been there.
What if he died?
He might have died.
But I feel like if he died, they would have made a comment.
Yeah. And also, it kind of throws you off when Flora has an American accent now. But then, when I was watching, I was like, okay, it makes sense when they mentioned that they moved to America. And here. And it must be the guy that they spoke about back then, the boyfriend.
Yeah.
That she said was smitten
exactly.
over.
But I'm just thinking, like, how did Flora not recognize anything about the story? Except, like, you know, that she said, oh, her middle name is Flora. But it's like, how can she not recognize...
How old were they?
8. Flora was 8.
Yeah, she was 8.
Yeah. And if you watched it, you'll know.
Oh, that dream hopping thing was so cute. And she was like, it doesn't, the math doesn't add up.
When she was with her parents, like, they're just like, Mommy, I miss you.
It was so emotional. It was more of an emotional TV show than a horror. And I think that's the one thing I like about this director. His horror is not cliche horror. It's more story scary. Like it's a scary, sad story. And it's scary. It
draws your emotions. You know, it makes you feel something in this unfeeling world.
Okay, this is not drama class.
But it's true. It's like barely any horror movies, like, you just see it and you're like, okay.
One thing I realized when I watched Haunting of Hill House, when I watched this, is this director, he makes it, most horror movies, it's the horror and then people are secondary. This one, he makes the people the primary part of the story, and then the horror and the ghost and the scary things kind of come with it. Like,
it's like their baggage.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
on the line, it's secondary to the main
ghosts.
story. Not necessarily like, oh, it's just about ghosts, it's just about horror.
And it's more of like their psychological ghosts, not necessarily...
Not in this one. Not in Bly Manor.
Yeah.
The Lady of the Lake.
No, okay, I'm not saying all of them are psychological ghosts, but like Danny's boyfriend, he was a psychological one.
Yeah.
As in, like, he doesn't, the director doesn't only do like paranormal stuff, like he also incorporates the psychology demons.
I think he did more of it in Haunting of Hill House.